Johnny Depp lawyers find new evidence shocks Amber Heard's lawyers with James Franco. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial is probably one of the most talked about trials these days. You may be a fan or not, you've probably already seen or heard about their trial. Since it's all over social media, everyone has been keeping track of what's going on next. Recently, Johnny Depp's lawyers found new evidence that shocks Amber Heard's lawyers, and we're here to talk about that. So make sure to tune into this video to know more about the details. Let's get started. First thing that happened was Vasquez brought up Amber and Johnny's journal writings from after the March incident in Australia, when they were on a honeymoon phase, and it appears Amber admitted to her part in whatever happened down under in writing. The writings on display are largely from the summer of 2015, and some of them are: Amber appears to absolutely be head over heels in love with Johnny Depp, despite her relationship's ups and downs. Vasquez also inquires about their trip to the Bahamas in 2015, during which Amber claims Johnny sexually assaulted her in a bathroom as she was attempting to flee him. But Vasquez points out that the manager of Johnny's island, Tara Roberts, has attested to witnessing Amber pursue Johnny, not the other way around. On cross-examination, Amber Heard's story about the Australia event in which Johnny Depp's finger was allegedly severed is being chopped up and tossed in the fire. She's in the midst of grilling. Amber is being grilled by Johnny Depp's lawyers Camille Vasquez, who is delving into the details of just about every one of Amber's charges of physical assault, including the infamous lost digit story that's up for debate Tuesday morning. Vasquez is inquiring about the exact sequence of events, claiming Amber has testified to particular activities occurring in a specific order, but Amber Heard claims she has no recollection of what happened first, next, and etc., despite the fact that she claims she remembers the chronology. What's interesting is, what's being studied here is the claim that Johnny sexually attacked Amber with a liquor bottle of some sort on the same day. By the way, that Johnny Depp lost his fingers, which Vasquez is attempting to dissect by running through her claimed assaults in slow motion, frame by frame. Her earlier evidence, whether in this trial or in the previous depositions, was continuously brought up. Here's something else Johnny's team is continuously focusing on: the fact that there appears to be a few to no medical records verifying the horrendous injuries Amber alleges she sustained, including those in Australia. But Amber now appears to be claiming that her perception of some of the injuries at the time was worse than the truth. Regardless, Amber has admitted that she did not seek medical treatment for several of the alleged injuries, but she insists that they did occur, and that Johnny is to blame. Vasquez is continually attempting to keep Amber on course and focused on the specific questions she's being asked, and while the interrogation is relentless, Amber appears to be holding up well. CV is clearly going to dig into everything Amber has testified about so far, which has been a lot. Moving on, here's the tea you've all been waiting for. On cross-examination, Amber Heard was asked about James Franco, and it appears that the whole point of bringing it up was to imply the idea she could have been messing around behind Johnny's back, according to Johnny Depp's lawyer. Surveillance footage of Johnny's DTLA building a few days before Amber Heard filed for TRO, this after a claimed explosive argument in their apartment, shows Franco slinking and wearing a helmet and jacket and carrying a backpack. Amber greets him and the two of them travel up to her level, where they exit together at 11 p.m. Amber was asked if she was aware of how late it was, and if she was aware that Johnny was out of town at the time by CV. Amber claims she has no recollection of Johnny's schedule at the time. She wasn't questioned if they had any sexual relations with James Franco. Camille has moved on to the Washington Post op, where she is attempting to persuade Amber to admit that the piece was clearly about Johnny, despite Amber's protests. All this happened around 9:28 a.m. during the trial. Around 9:55 a.m., according to a person close to Amber, Depp's legal team did a great disservice to all women this morning. They showed women exactly what could happen to them in court if they speak up about abuse at home. The court is currently on recess for lunch, but will resume later. By 11 a.m., they resumed trial, and Amber was just asked about the deposition she took years ago. one that has sparked a lot of conjecture since it was made public, in which Amber Heard can be seen smirking and rolling her eyes sarcastically as she listens to Johnny describing being hit. Vasquez presented the tape in question, in which Johnny claims Amber slammed a door in his head, and she denies it, both in Real Time Tuesday and via Amber's previous deposition and on the latter. Amber smiles and eats the entire time. When Vasquez questioned Amber if she thought beating her husband was funny, she explained she wasn't smiling because of the audio, but rather because of what was going on in the room where her deposition was taking place at the time. Fans of Johnny Depp have long viewed this video as proof that Amber is twisted and devilish when it comes to Johnny's suffering, but she claims it is not what her body language was indicating, despite some people's interpretation of the popular clip. Aside from the evidence they have about James Franco, another shocking event that occurred with their trial is supermodel Kate Moss denied Amber Heard's rumor about Johnny Depp pushing Kate Moss in the stairs. Moss, speaking via live video from Gloucestershire, England, said she slipped while on vacation in Jamaica and Depp helped her. "He never pushed me, kicked me, or threw me down any stairs." Moss recalled their relationship, which lasted from 1994 until 1998. The famously private model, who rarely discussed her personal life, shut down Heard's claim that the 58-year-old pushed Moss. Heard claimed she was afraid Depp would force her sister down the stairs during a heated confrontation, which led to Moss's testimony. According to Heard, there was a rumor that Johnny Depp had done something similar to Moss before, and it sprang to mind. "We were leaving the room, and Johnny left the room before I did," Moss stated when questioned by Depp's attorney Benjamin Chu. "It was raining and I slid down the steps as I exited the room. My back was hurting and I yelled because I was in pain and had no idea what happened to me. He came running back to help me, carried me to my room, and got me medical attention." Moss was testifying for Johnny Depp during the rebuttal phase of the trial, which allows him to refute Heard's charges. When Moss began her intense connection with Depp, who was a teen idol thanks to his parts in films like Edward Scissorhands, she was at the height of her fame. Both of them were notorious for their alcohol and drug use, and it became known as the chicest drug couple in LA. The Viper Room in Los Angeles, which Depp owned, was one of their favorite hangouts, where they partied with Jared Leto, Keanu Reeves, and Charlize Theron. Moss later admitted to crying for years over the split, following which her drug usage became more severe, leading to her admission to rehabilitation. After the testimony, a source close to Heard said, "So Johnny Depp didn't abuse Kate Moss. That makes him 1 for 2 in the abuse column. However, he is 0-1 in court in the central issue in this case, having previously lost the same case in England, and no matter how hard his lawyers try to distract and deflect the jury's attention away from the single question in this case, whether Amber Heard can use the right to free speech, he'll be 0 for 2. After being summoned back to the stand on Wednesday, Depp's forensic psychologist claimed that Amber Heard indeed has a personality problem, despite the actress's own dismaying of it. Depp's expert witness, Dr. Shannon Curry, stated there was obvious evidence that Heard had a personality issue. Dr. Curry classified Heard with borderline personality disorder and historic personality disorder in her prior testimony. Dr. Don Hughes, Heard's own forensic psychologist, testified as an expert witness, refuting Dr. Curry's claims and stating Heard was suffering from PTSD. Dr. Hughes utilized checklists in her study that are not appropriate for forensic context and easily manipulated, according to Dr. Curry. Dr. Hughes provided Heard with a checklist about PTSD, which is most commonly reported and manufactured mental trauma. Giving Heard a symptom checklist was like teaching her the subtle nuances to get that diagnosis, according to Dr. Curry. Dr. Hughes diagnosed her with PTSD after hearing that she ticked most of the items. Dr. Curry said a person being evaluated will have a major incentive to benefit the outcome of their case. You always approach examinations with a healthy dose of skepticism. Fans stood in long queues early Wednesday morning to receive wristbands for the trial. They passed the time by trying to sleep on the ground wrapped in blankets, playing cards, or speaking with new acquaintances. when the Fairfax Sheriff's Department finally permitted them on the premises. Early entrants waited across the street before dashing across to the courthouse lawn to grab a spot in line. Some, still in their sweatpants, did their makeup as 7 a.m. approached, the moment when sheriff and deputies hand out the wristbands that are the fans' prize tickets to the courtroom. Those who didn't get wristbands make their way to the back of the courthouse, hoping for a glimpse of Johnny Depp when he comes to court. The trial is still ongoing, and it's like we are still about to reach the climax, and it's definitely getting juicier. We're sure you are also pretty wrapped up in Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial, and so are we. Now that's a wrap. What are your thoughts about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's trial? What do you think the verdict should be? We hope you guys liked the video. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.